For the part 2, we have conditional statements. For the problem number 1 is leap year checker. So, check lang natin if yung year ba is leap year or hindi. So, yung year natin is, ang ginawa kong variable dito is year, para simple lang, and then int, since year is an integer, input a year lang. So, if year is divisible to 4, and year is not divisible by 100, siya ay leap year. Else if year is divisible by 400, leap year din siya. Else, not a leap year. So, ang sample output natin dito, 2024, since 2024 is chumecheck sa conditions na to, siya ay tinag na leap year. So, for the problem number 2, we have the triangle type identifier. Basically, titignan lang niya if triangle ba yung ating input. So, for the first, I have the length 1 as a variable para para tumanggap nung first side nung triangle natin. Then, next, length 2, naka-float, and enter the second side. Then, length 3, naka-float ulit na data type. Then, I will ask the user again to enter the third side. So, ito na yung condition statement natin. If length is equal to length 2, and the length number 2 is equal to length number 3, ang lalabas dyan is equilateral sila. If hindi naman siya equal dito, if length 1 is equal to length 2, and length number 2 is not equal to length number 3, magiging isosceles triangle siya. For the third one, we have if length 1 is not equal to length 2, and length 2 is not equal to length 3, like, for example, hindi talaga sila same ng size, ang kakalabasan niyan is scalene triangle. Else, if wala talaga sa lahat ng to, hindi siya triangle. So, ang sample output natin, so, ang first side na nilagay natin dito is 3, second side natin is 3, and third side natin is 3. Ang equal nito is equilateral. Since length 1 is equals to length 2, length 2 is equal to length 3, so, same sila lahat ng side. Kaya, tinawag silang equilateral triangle. For our problem number 3, we have number comparison game. So, in our number comparison game, we will just compare the first number, second number, and third number for which is the largest one. So, meron tayong num1 as a variable for our first number, num2 as a variable for our second number, and num3 as a variable for our third number. It is all in integers since it is required to only put the largest number or the smallest number, and hindi naman nakalagay if float or integer. So, if num1 is greater than num2 and num2 is less than num3, the largest will be the num1. So, it will print that the num1 is the largest. So, if num1 is less than num2 and num2 is greater than num3, then the num2 will be the largest. Else, kapag hindi siya num1 and num2, of course, magiging num3 na siya. So, else na lang nilagyan natin dito. And then, the largest will be num3. So, if largest is divisible by 2, so it is even, else it is odd. So, this is sample output. Ang inputs natin is 1, 2, 3. So, of course, ang largest number dito is lalabas is number 3. Ang largest natin is number 3, and number 3 is not divisible by 2, so the output is odd.